Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Growth factors are the hottest ingredient in skincare right now, and expect that to continue right the way through 2026. And for good reason. Growth factors are amazing, particularly for anti-aging. They boost collagen and elastin production, which means ultimately they minimize the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And with lots of us on our own anti-aging journey, growth factors can be a key part of that. But choosing the right growth factor serum is a bit of a minefield, especially when it comes to price. There are so many different price options available. You can walk into a drugstore and pick up a growth factors serum from the shelf for around $15. Or some brands are asking upwards of $400 for what, on the face of it, seems like a very similar product. Are we actually getting more by paying more? Well, we're going to talk about it all in today's video. I've been on my own growth factor journey over the past 12 months, and I've learned a lot along the way. I'm not gatekeeping. I want to share that information with you guys so you can make the right decisions for your own budget, skin type, and of course, skincare routine. Sit back, relax, let's talk all things growth factor skincare. Now in today's video, I'm going to share with you my own hot take on this, which really comes from my own journey with growth factors. But I want to hear from you guys. I love to listen to your own experiences and read your comments because it really helps shape the information that I give and gives an understanding to how different products will work on different skin types. So let me know down in the comments section below what your take is on growth factors, what products you use, and what results you've got. That way, as a community, we can kind of learn from one another to hopefully make everyone's skincare journey that little bit easier. I'm going to share with you some of my personal recommendations in today's video, but just know, as always, this video isn't sponsored and it isn't in paid partnership and never will be on the channel. I turn down that coin because I just feel it helps to preserve my independence, and as we enter into 2026, I think there's a greater need than ever before for truly independent, unbiased and sponsorship-free skincare content, and I'm just proud to be a little part of that. So if you want to support me as an independent content creator, the best way of doing it is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So growth factors, they're a peptide, but a specific subset of peptides. They work really effectively on boosting collagen and elastin production, which is why they deliver such amazing anti-aging results. They've actually been around for years, but The Ordinary launched their growth factor serum around 18 months ago, and it kind of exploded. It almost broke the internet on launch, and I think that really pushed growth factors to the masses, and lots of people now have them as part of their skincare routine. As I say, today we're focusing down on price point and understanding why there's such widely different price points when it comes to growth factor serums, and whether actually by paying a little bit more, we're actually getting anything more when it comes to results. Any products that I mention are listed down in the description box below if you want to check the price point where you live, if you want to make a purchase, read the reviews. All those links are there for your convenience. And I covered how growth factors work and the mechanism of action in the skin in more detail in a video, which again, I'll link up there if you want to do a little bit of a deep dive into the ingredient. When it comes to price points, I like to categorize them in three ways, starting with the low, the budget-friendly growth factors options. We're then going to come to the mid-tier, the mid-priced ones that I think will suit most budgets, but aren't for those that really do want to cut the cost of their skincare. And then we're going to come to the high-priced options. When it comes to growth factors, there's actually quite a significant difference between these three categories, the results that we can expect and the form of growth factors used. I'm going to explain that as we go along. So let's start with the budget-friendly growth factors. This is definitely where The Ordinary GF 15% solution fits in. This is probably the best-selling growth factor serum of all time, and people are reporting getting amazing results from it, which is phenomenal because it costs like $15. So a really affordable option for those of us that are on a budget or want to just minimize the cost of our skincare, but you're still getting great results even though you're not breaking the bank to achieve them. Now, the key difference with most budget-friendly growth factors is they use plant-derived growth factors, which there's that specific form of growth factor which comes with its own limitations. So when we talk growth factors, there are three different forms. There's human-derived, there is bioengineered, so ones that are created in a lab but to mimic the human-derived options, and the plant-based ones. I would generally say plant-based growth factors are the cheapest to formulate with. So generally speaking, most budget growth factor serums will have plant-based growth factors within them. That's the case with The Ordinary. And whilst their results aren't going to be as advanced as some of the other options, they do still work. Plant-derived growth factors will definitely plump, they will definitely hydrate, and in the long term, people do report getting really great pro-collagen benefits from them too. There aren't many studies into plant-based growth factors, which is why some people are quite quick to dismiss them, but I wouldn't, because I actually think anecdotally, from people's word of mouth, I know a lot of people have got amazing results from plant-derived growth factors, so I think just to kind of dismiss them because there hasn't been a whole suite of studies done into them seems a little bit premature. I actually think, particularly if you're on a limited budget or want to reduce the cost of your growth factor serum, plant-derived growth factors are a really great accessible option, just allowing more people to appreciate growth factors and get the results. That's what you definitely get with The Ordinary. A lot of hydration, a lot of plumping, and I genuinely believe in the long term some great anti-aging benefits too. If you've used The Ordinary growth factors, again, let me know your results down in the comments because I love that anecdotal feedback so we can learn from one another. However, when it comes to budget-friendly growth factors, the drugstore growth factor serums, there are some real duds out there, and you do have to be careful in this category because a lot of brands know how popular growth factors are, so they stick it on the label hoping to sell some units without actually formulating a quality product. This is the case with the Inculist growth factors serum. This is not a good product. It's not transparent in terms of the percentages. The growth factors that they use are okay, but again, without knowing the percentages, you can't be sure that you're actually getting something meaningful in terms of anti-aging, and the base formulation just isn't there. I would recommend the Ordinary growth factor solution over the Inculist growth factors any day of the week. You're going to get completely different results with the Ordinary, and the Inculist is a bit of a fail for me. And so I think this is a word of caution when it comes to the budget-friendly, super affordable growth factors. Some are amazing, like the Ordinary. Others are much more limited in terms of their formulation and what you're actually going to get, a la the Inculist. So just be a little bit cautious if you're shopping in the budget-friendly category. There are some quick wins to be had, but that's not universal. We then take it up a tier, what I'm going to call the mid-market growth factors. And this is really where you get the biggest variance in terms of price point. There are lots of really quality growth factor serums, though, in this mid-market. And this is where increasingly I find myself shopping. So mid-market growth factors generally will be bioengineered. So those that are created in a lab to mimic the growth factors that are already present in our body. This means you get quicker results because the body recognizes them as something that's kind of already there. So you tend to get quicker results and you tend to get more advanced results too. This is a really nice halfway house, allowing you to get the great anti-aging benefits of growth factors without having to get like a second mortgage in order to afford them. There are lots of different brands that fit within these, but I've got three that I think are consistently amazing and deliver really great results. First up is the Stratia interface. So this is a peptide cream that also has growth factors. The growth factors in here are lab engineered, so designed to mimic those that are naturally present in the skin. Great option for quick results and advanced results too. They've selected some great pro-collagen peptides to use alongside those growth factors, so this is really like a double whammy. Whilst it's not the cheapest product out there, I think it's somewhere in the region of around $35. It's definitely not going to break the bank, and I think for people that want to step up their growth factors game beyond the plant-derived growth factors that we've just spoken of, I think this is a really nice option to go for. Still affordable for most people out there, and if you see it as a peptide and a growth factor 2-in-1, it really is a great price point for the formulation that you're getting. I love Stratia. They can be tricky to get here in the UK, that would be my only criticism. But if you're shopping from the US or Canada, easy to get your hands on and such a great brand. Another one of my absolute favourites in this mid-price point category is the Dermatology Needleless Growth Factor Serum. So their needleless serum went viral around 2 years ago and everyone was singing its praises. Genuinely an amazing peptide serum. They created like an advanced version with growth factors added in. And if you look at the price point of their standard needleless serum versus the needleless with growth factors, very, very little price differential. So you're kind of getting a whole lot more without actually paying much more in terms of this product. That for me is why I tried it and I fell in love. Again, bioengineered growth factors in this one, meaning you're really going to get a quick win when it comes to the results you see. And I think you're going to get some of the best results of any growth factor serum on the market. I love this. I love the technology that they use. The price point is phenomenal. And if you like your serums in a pump as opposed to a dropper, this is a quick win that you will absolutely love the packaging of. Just a nice all-round product that, again, I think shows you can absolutely do quality growth factors without having to have a sky-high price point. Also, finally, in this like mid-tier category is the Medik8 Liquid Peptides Advanced MP. This is the one I reach the most. I just love this product. It launched, I believe, around the time of the ordinary growth factors, so around 18 months ago. And I know so many people that have never skipped a day using this and are getting great results. I love the fact that you're getting a great blend of peptides in this. It's got a 30% concentration of peptides, which is super high. But you've also got those growth factors added on in order to give us some next level benefits. The growth factors used in this are again bioengineered to mimic those that are present in the skin, meaning you're going to get quick results, you're going to get those enhanced results. But I think when it comes to combining growth factors and peptides, this is actually the highest concentration I've ever seen on the skincare market of both, and that just means that we're really going to be benefiting from a sky-high punch of both of these when we apply them to our skin. Medik8 are a fantastic brand, and this is one of my favourite products from one of my favourite brands, so you know it's good. Again, this isn't the cheapest skincare product out there, but it's definitely mid-price. I think I paid around £62 for this. So, like I say, it's not going to be everyone's price point, but I think this is the closest you get in this mid-market category to the performance of the super expensive growth factors. So if you kind of want to do next level amazing growth factors, but you don't have $300 spare, go for the Medik8 one. I think it's definitely a lot cheaper, but the results are going to be very comparable to some of the expensive options that are on the market. This is the one that I think is going to be my go-to throughout 2026 because it's a nice marrying up of effective, high performance, and a more accessible price point than some of the other equivalents on the market. So that really just leaves us with the sky-high expensive, the bougie, the luxury growth factor serums, of which there are quite a few. Interestingly, when it comes to growth factors, it was the expensive luxury ones that hit the market first, and then the price point has kind of come down over time as more accessible options have hit the market. That's almost the reverse of what we normally see in skincare, which I think is quite interesting. And whilst I do think the super expensive options do employ a lot of really advanced technology, they also did a lot of the research that paved the way for other more affordable options to enter the market, so they get an extra, point in the box for that. I do think that spending so much money on a single serum in your skincare routine should only be the case when you can afford it. Look at your individual budget, which will differ person to person, and work out whether you can actually afford some of these expensive options. Because I never think it's worth scrimping and saving on the rest of your skincare routine for the sake of buying an overpriced, expensive growth factor serum. So just set that right. There are two products that fit in this category that I think are the most popular of the expensive options. So for the luxury growth factors segment, the one that I always tend to go back to time and time again is this. This is the Allies of Skin Multi-Peptides and Growth Factors Advanced Lifting Serum. I've been using this for the past 18 months and my skin loves it. It genuinely lifts the skin. So let's just talk about that claim. It's on the bottle, it actually works. And you've got some of the most advanced growth factors in this product. With technology, it really helps them get into the skin to where they need to be to deliver the results. You've got a great plethora of other lifting ingredients, other peptides, and you could absolutely see this as a skincare routine in one. Cleanse the skin, put this on, moisturize or sunscreen after, and you are good to go. You've got a comprehensive skincare routine. So see this as almost like a 5-in-1, which I think helps justify the price. The form of growth factors used in here is really advanced, which means you're going to get those super quick but also elevated results. And I do genuinely believe if your budget will stretch to it, this is worth every single penny. However, as I said before, I don't want someone scrimping and saving on the rest of their routine in order to afford this at the expense of other steps. This is the sort of product that I think works if you have the budget that aligns with it. But if you don't, just take it down a tier to some of those mid-price options from Dermatology, from Medik8. They will still do amazing things for your skin without having the implication of excessive spending versus what your budget actually is. I do love this, and I think this is a great option if you have the money to invest in a growth factor serum. You will get some of the very best results from this. But I guess I want to stress that there are some mid-tier options that come very, very close. If I was going to give this like a 10 out of 10 for performance, I'd say that Medik8 one was like a 9.2. So they're very, very close, but there's a differential when it comes to that price point. And of course, then we've got the Skin Medica TNS Advanced Serum. This kick-started things with growth factors and is the one that people often hold up to be the pinnacle in terms of performance. This is the one that's actually human-derived growth factors, which comes with some ethical considerations that people will have to make their own judgment on at a price point upwards of $300. This isn't for me. It's not in my budget. And as I keep saying, if you can't afford it comfortably, then it's not the product for you. And I don't want to be investing in this product at the expense of other steps in my routine. It just doesn't align with my individual budget. Doesn't mean that it's not great. It is. And because these are actually human-derived growth factors, you're probably going to see some very quick results with it, and you're going to see some next level results when it comes to anti-aging. For me, I just think there are some ethical considerations, at least to think about here. I'm not making that call for you. People should do their own research into that and make their own decision. And the price just isn't within my bracket. So there is that. For me, when it comes to growth factors, I guess the takeaway from this video should be shop within your budget. Work out what your budget is and stick to it. Do not feel that you're missing out because your budget doesn't allow you to spend $180 on a growth factor serum. You can shop with the ordinary and get some great results for $15. Don't also feel that you have to stick with the ordinary. If you can spend a little bit more, you can get a little bit more in terms of results by taking it up a tier with, say, like the dermatology, the Stratia, or the Medicaid options. It's all about doing what works for you, and that's going to be my ethos throughout 2026, and hopefully this video just makes that possible. Now, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What tier are you shopping in? Are we going drugstore and affordable? Are we going mid-tier, or are we happy to splurge and take that luxury approach? Let me know down in the comments, because here on Mad About Skin, it is a judgment-free space. I just love to hear from you guys and understand what people are buying, loving, and what's working for them. Wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope you have a safe, healthy, and prosperous end to 2025, and just wishing you all the best for the new year. Take care, guys. Bye.